Hey guys, welcome to Solo ReacTalk. Today I'm going to be reacting to If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device, episode 17, Emperor's Excellent Autobiography by Bruva Alpha Brusa. If you want to check out my previous reactions, remember the playlist card will be at the top. Just click on it and you'll be able to access them. If you want to check out the original video as well as Bruva Alpha Brusa's YouTube channel, remember the links are in the description below. Last week with episode 16, the Emperor was our history teacher. He was giving us information, background stories behind the various races within the galaxy. He's also been talking about his own creation, how he came to be, and how the Old Ones and the Necrontyr and the Satan, had their fallout, had their wars, and ultimately resulted in the political standpoint that we find ourselves in as humanity and as the orcs or the elder, all from that calamity that has happened, that has occurred so many hundreds of thousands of years ago. So yeah, he's been our history teacher, giving us that vital information. And now we continue on with episode 17, Emperor's Excellent Autobiography. Let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Are you two done gawking yet?
Oh yes. Kitten and Magnus were still, surprised about how the Emperor came to being. After so many, what were they called again? I don't want to say witches, but shamans. Yes, the shamans who were attuned to the warp sacrificed their lives to coalesce all of their energy into one being, which would become the Emperor. So yeah, Kitten and Magnus are still surprised about that, I think.
Almost.
Just a second.
Sigh. Greater than colon hyphen left parenthesis, snails evolve lakes faster than you loafers get over this shit.
Okay. I think it's mostly out of my system now. I was actually confused for the first time in as long as I can remember.
The last time you were confused, you started to fucking bawl.
I did not. Confusion just makes my eyes water is all.
Don't you start making excuses, you little crybaby you.
I'm gonna use your bones as a xylophone.
Go ahead, mop hair, see
How
how
about
it
you
works out
shut
for
your
you.
keyboard? Anyway, why did you not tell
Don't you need that, Emperor? Oh gosh.
anyone of this before?
Because you never fucking asked, that's why. Besides, what was written down was apparently censored by those charming fucknuggets in the Inquisition.
That's just fantastic. I'll take my chance and ask a million questions now then.
Why is Kitten walking so slowly up towards the Emperor? That is so weird. What are you doing?
Ready?
You get to ask one before I continue.
Why? Does my pure, flawless father have some sordid detail to hide?
No, it's because if I had to field every question your nerd brain could devise, we'd be here for another 40,000 years.
Do I get to ask a question, my lord?
No, go away! I am the one asking the questions here.
Go ahead then, Horntits. Make it good.
Are you, technically, still human?
Are Space Marines, Custodies, and you Primarchs still human? Same answer. No and yes. I am human in the sense that I was born of and am the product of humans. My soul is innately human. However, I am not a mere man. I am what humanity could achieve if we evolved, as the old ones did. The shamans who created me just took a shortcut, similar to how I took a few shortcuts when creating you guys. We are basically various stages of accelerated human evolution. Humans, Space Marines, Custodies, Primarchs, and then myself.
Yeah, when he says that they are accelerated evolution, I'm wondering whether the old ones also were like that before, before they became these spiritual beings. Did they also accelerate their evolution? or did their evolution, just occur naturally over time, over eons of existence? Because I think that's something that's also very important and vital to understand there, that if the old ones did evolve themselves naturally and, they reached that pinnacle of existence through natural means, then, it should be as an example for humanity as well, that we shouldn't be rushing this way. We should be taking it on a natural path. Yes, we will have our dark ages in the galaxy. Yes, we will go through some hardships, but I think through that kind of learning experience, we will become much more better. But now, because the Emperor, he wants things to be done now, because he has this time limit that he talks about, that humanity can only ascend within this time limit. We are being rushed into this new future, and now that new future has been tainted by the civil war with Horus Leprechaun, and we are in this dark, murky, stagnant age of human existence, where I don't know when we're ever going to move past this phase. I don't think we're ever going to move past this phase. We're going to be stuck like this for the foreseeable future, I guess you could say that. So yeah, I think the Emperor, during the Age of Strife, he should have just left humanity to its own devices. Just let them do it by themselves. Let's see how far they can get. Only when it does reach to the brink, then you can intervene. But otherwise, you should have just left us all across the galaxy, left us to our own devices, and let us just progress naturally, Yeah. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know.
Do you mind enlightening us further with this grand universal story, my lord?
Of course. About a year after the whole mega evolution by suicide thing, I was born to regular human parents. The shamans that killed themselves had combined to become one giant soul and entered my mother while she was still pregnant. This was 50,000
The Emperor had a mother? Wow.
years ago. During my first years of life, I was a powerful but reckless young man. At that point in time, most of my life consisted of crushing my enemies, driving them before me and hearing the lamentation of a woman. I was honestly kind of an asshole. A handsome, muscle-bound asshole. However, as time went by, I felt more and more of my past lives impose upon me, revealing who I truly was. Ancient wisdom, immense power, and a strong sense of right filled my body to the brim. I was no longer who I used to be. I was now a handsome, muscle-bound god-like being who could use magic. I was the greatest thing since myself before the transformation. After this incredible power boost, I started roaming around Terra, or Earth, as it was called at the time, like a ghost. I watched from the shadows as mankind grew, waiting, influencing, and sometimes scaring small children. Fast forward a couple of millennia. It was the year M25, and the Age of Strife had come. Humans had spread all across the galaxy, and all was fine and dandy. But suddenly, as if some idiot repeatedly rammed his head against the shitstorm button, a whole cockload of psychers suddenly emerged on every single world. As you well know, psychers use the warp to do magic and shit, but untrained psychers are pretty bad at it and usually attract warp predators when doing so. First it seemed fine. A lot of people's initial reaction was, hey, wizards are real, neat. But then bam, demons all across the planet, good fucking job. The only planets that survived this fate were those that performed witch hunts and brutally murdered psychers wherever they popped up. You can imagine how popular murder cult religions were at the time. To serve as the puss icing on this rot cake, warp storms started bucking up the galaxy immensely again. As mankind depended on the warp to make it from planet to planet, every human colony was isolated from one another, as going through the warp during a warp storm is incredibly stupid. This was especially awful in Terra's case, as Terra depended on other planets for its groceries and toilet paper. This left the people of Terra in a severe state of famine and itchy-ass clefts. Terra soon became naught but a blasted desert, a shadow of its former self. Here, a bunch of cartoon villains called techno-barbarians roamed free and fought one another for territory. As Terra was utterly fucked up beyond all recognition, I decided to finally reveal myself to mankind, since screaming at it from the sidelines clearly didn't fucking work. So I picked up some hardy boys, augmented them massively, and gave them the name Thunder Warriors, the greatest warriors on Terra. For the record, these fellows were the predecessors to the Space Marines. Suffice it to say that they was saved because I'm just that good.
Right, so now I've heard all about your biography. But what happened to the rest of the universe between now and then?
If you really want to hear the boring parts, fine. To make a long story slightly less long, while Earth was in its infancy, and I was protecting it from all the serial killers outside, the Eldar fucked up. Again, literally. And yes, I will reuse this joke as often as I like, because I'm the motherfucking Emperor, and I am allowed to do that. I'm hilarious.
Yes, you are, Emperor.
This was the point in time in which the Eldar managed to murder fuck the Chaos God Slaanesh into existence, which was the final coffin, to hit the nail into the hammer for any sense the realm of souls once had. From that point on, it was a technicolor hellscape of sexual fluids and jumbled thoughts. Slaanesh managed to agitate the other Chaos Gods into going full fuck force, as they hadn't done anything worth noting since the medieval ages, when they were born. This started an instant mass production of demon hookers and punch meat monsters. This incredibly violent space birth even managed to rupture the galaxy's privates, which created the gaping, expansive warp hole in the center of the galaxy that is nowadays known as the Eye of Terror, because the dick demons clearly needed a bigger hole to poke into. As Slaanesh was born and the Eye of Terror was formed, most every Eldar in the galaxy died as a result of this galactical miscarriage. The only ones lucky enough to survive were those far away from the Eldar homeworlds. In addition, Slaanesh also did to the Eldar what the Ctan did to the Necrontyr, making it so Slaanesh automatically receives all Eldar's souls upon their death, unless they use protection. This totally proves that I'm the only god-like entity in the universe that didn't fuck things up for its own people.
Yeah, for now.
Not that you should call me a god, or anything, I'm just saying—
And we are infinitely thankful for that, my lord.
You better damn well be. Anyway, things do take a small upturn here. The good news was that since the galaxy was finally out of its bipolar pregnancy stage, the Eye of Terror blew away all the warp storms that had fucked up the galaxy, making space travel possible again. Thus, with the Eldar out of the way, the universe pretty much empty of all worthy life, and the Age of Strife over, I took humanity and decided it was time to conquer the stars, reuniting the human planets that had been isolated and lost during the Age of Strife with the newly formed Imperium of Man. And it went well at first. Everyone was holly jolly and loved me. I began preparing for the
Were they really? I don't know about that, but okay.
Great Crusade, and everyone had a good time. At this point, I also made the Prime Arcs, my very own children, that would help me lead mankind to total galactic domination. But then, those giant material ball sacks known as the Chaos Gods scattered all across the galaxy, shitting and giggling as they went. So with that, I had to go out and relocate all my sons once more, which was a pain in the side. After I had done that, however, and the Great Crusade was at full go, everyone was happy again, except the 100 or 200 planets we annihilated. But as you know—
1 or 2? 1 or 2. Yeah, okay, Emperor.
Fucking Horus's massive temper tantrum happened right after that. The rebellion happened, I was put on this throne. Most of my sons either disappeared or died. The entire Imperium shat its united long johns. That stupid age of apostasy happened, and those fucking tyrants apparently showed up. Oh, and those Tau creatures too, if that is worth mentioning.
It's not!
And somewhere in the interim, the Eldar mostly split into two factions, one which wants their species to become great again, as if that will ever happen, and one which simply doesn't care about anything other than being disturbing little sweat goblins. And that's the how and why of humanity, the galaxy, and the gloomy fuckfest we're all invited to. You get all of that?
Sure, but you did seem to skim over a lot of stuff near the end.
Yes. For instance, all that stuff about the Dark Age of technology. Like, what's the Man of Iron? You mentioned him earlier.
And what happened to the few
Kitten, no, you know all of this stuff, bruh. You were not there. You didn't exist during that time. Okay, no, maybe you don't, but still, you should know. You should know. I don't know about Magnus. I'm not sure about him, whether he should know these things, but definitely you should. But anyways, let's continue.
Surviving old ones.
And what about those sensitive people that I just remembered are a thing?
While I enjoy filling your brain bowels with crap, I now have a massive super headache. I need to take a break. I guess the book could be published in 2 volumes for double the profit. I'll tell you about the dark age of technology and other stuff like that later. Also, what the flying fuck is a sensei?
You know, your human descendants?
You mean the descendants of the families of the shamans who gave their lives to form me? Isn't that like all of humanity?
Not exactly what I meant.
Good. I never liked Uncle Ragnar anyway. But really though, what in the fuck do you mean? You aren't saying some of my human partners actually survived having intercourse with me? And moreover, gave birth to actual children?
The fact that the Sensei are incredibly powerful psychers with changeling-like abilities, much like small versions of yourself, seems to indicate this. They also share a very sharp jawline.
Well shit. Come to think of it, this is actually the first kind of sort of pleasant surprise I've had since meeting my Centaurian and hearing about those astronauts. I have surviving heirs as well as my Primarchs. I mean, I only made you guys because I didn't think that reproduction for me would be possible any other way.
That's nice to...
But serious.
Did you try any other way? Really?
As far as I knew, none of the people I had introduced to Big E had been able to handle it, and most of them had pretty explosive climaxes.
Okay, wow.
Alien, literally.
I didn't need to know any of that.
This is the kind of knowledge that should remain a mystery.
Come to think of it, I never thought to check back on any of them after the first night. Now I genuinely feel kind of bad.
That's a first.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was just mutual fun, and they were willingly getting into it. And I didn't leave any of them unsatisfied, nor was I going out of my way to be a jerk about the whole thing. It's just, you know, me being who I am. Maybe I was a bit too rough, and seriously, I didn't knowingly leave them to their fate. I just figured that with all those broken bones and all that blood and—
I can't hear this. I don't want to be on this
I also don't want to hear this. Emperor, stop, just stop.
planet anymore.
Sorry, I'm getting carried away. Sigh. It was my favorite bone. I sure do miss it.
I'm just glad that I have no such urges or interests at all. My only desire is to serve you, my lord.
That can easily be skewed in all the wrong ways. It's a good thing that shitty fanfic writers aren't anywhere near here.
Don't jinx it, father.
So, back to the new topic at hand. I presume these sensei people are basically treated like demigods by you plebeians? Either way, I want you to send someone to go out and find them for me, and
I don't think I've heard of these so-called offsprings of the Emperor. These senseis. Nah, I don't think I've heard of them. This is the first time.
bring as many of them here as possible. This should make the family reunion even better.
About that.
You're going to tell me something that will make me pop a planet, aren't you?
The Inquisition has been hunting them down and killing them as they see them as vile mutants and a threat to their Imperial canon. The rest seemingly vanished with no explanation before the Inquisitors could get to them. We should go. I should go. I better go.
I think we all have to go.
Well, I found the bottom after all. I think I feel a grumble.
How many worlds did he destroy? Yikes.
Sweet pepperoni with a side of bologna, warm storms. The planet reports that it'd be a beautifully smoggy day.
Inquisitors, the time has come. We, the eternal watchers of mankind, have come to lay waste to the foolish traitors that have infected and corrupted the very core of our Imperium. We are here to heed the call of our Emperor, We are here to save him! Remember our plans! Dispatch of their retinues and defense mechanics with all haste! Terra has the mightiest fortifications to ever exist, but we shall never give up. Our faith in the Emperor will break through any wall. Go! Charge!
Emperor, why did you save this Lord Inquisitor's life again? Why did you not allow Kitten to put him down when he was, attacking the High Lords of Terra? Why did you allow this? Now look what's going to happen. Aish. And you said you had a plan for him. So let's see this plan unfold.
Get the fuck up! Where is everybody? Why is no one attempting to stop our righteous crusade through Eternity Gate?
Oh, maybe they went on a business trip together. That's what my parents did. And my second parents. And all my friends. And my dog.
Well, I presume they are expecting us to enter into the Imperial Palace. When we do, I foresee they will attack us with all they have. Soldiers, make ready! When we step through these once sacred doors, we'll be greeted with a vanguard of traitors like no other.
It's a slavish demon!
Shoot it, shoot it!
Cease fire, you
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh wow, the head of the ecclesiarchy is just here in his pajamas drinking coffee. Oh gosh.
Decius, I am not sure what an Energlad's bloated ballsack you are doing, but may I suggest that you actually fight back when someone is invading the Imperial Palace?
What in the Emperor's name are you doing here? So early in the morning, no less. Are you really so dumb that you're going to come back here and force your way into the throne room?
Well, I cannot say it's been very hard so far. Where did the mighty bulwark of the palace go? Actually, has it ever even existed?
Yes, of course it has. We've just retired it because, well, the Emperor wanted us to.
The Emperor has not ordered a thing. It is all the work of the Adeptus Custodes, attempting to ruin the Imperium from inside out.
Why doesn't the Emperor talk to this Lord Inquisitor directly, like with a psychic communication, like how he does with the custodians? Why doesn't he just do that and let us bring an end to this? I mean, this is just nonsense. It's nonsense. He is nonsense. Hey.
Get your borstal and get out of here before I do something.
And what would that be? Are you going to pierce us with your phallic cranium?
I'll call on my ministry to dispatch you. Don't you underestimate us, Fyodor.
Oh, what are you going to do? Cite passages out of a book at us? Ow! Oh, come on, this is really happening? Damn it! Kill these useless lollygaggers!
Activate Rosarii, the Emperor protects.
Test my patience, Ecclesiarch! Soldiers, throw your grenades! The Ecclesiarchs are still standing? There shouldn't be anything left! This is impossible!
Impossible. Impossible is not part of the Inquisition's vocabulary, my friend.
Who said that? Lord Inquisitor Cotius, Tokumada. I did not expect so.
Wait, there's two Lord Inquisitors? I thought like Karamazov was the only Lord Inquisitor, like the head of the Inquisition. So, who is this guy?
Such a guest of honor was going to enlighten us with his presence.
The pleasure is all mine. Could you possibly enlighten me to the situation that is at hand?
We cannot get to this blasted line of Rosarius. We need to so we can get to the Emperor and save him from the traitorous Custodes that have taken him hostage.
Order your men to stop their firing. I will show you my personal army belt. Operator, it is time. Do the, how you say, funky monkey.
We are driving them back. Press forward. Throw more things. Send these motherless bastards crawling back to their holes for the Emperor!
Hey, found a barrel. I haven't ever seen a barrel in the Imperial Palace before.
Oh, what's in it?
I don't know.
Huh. I guess we found the abbess of the Adeptus Sororitas's secret vibrator stash.
At long last!
Not my arms!
Mom? Dad? Is it really you?
Monkeys? Really? That's the great secret of courtiers, Tokumov?
Yes, what about them?
I am, well, to say the least, unimpressed. Actually, I would go as far as to say I think I just lost all my respect for you.
Why don't you step off that overglorified porta-potty you call a throne of judgment and say that to my face? Or are you going to have your deep fryer kill me for doing your job better than you?
Oh no, I would not want to rid you on the off chance to die on the old folks' planet where you belong.
I have to take my leave now, as I have a movie to shoot. Try not to kill the Emperor for being innocent or whatever it is you could possibly accuse him of, su loco puta.
They've broken through. The Inquisition is on their way into the throne room.
Well, what are you talking about?
What? They can't do that! That's illegal!
You need to call on your soldiers. They're going to make it to the Emperor.
The High Lords of Terror's meeting room, is it in the Imperial Palace or is it somewhere else? Is it in another, building far away from the palace? I'm not sure about that. Because it seems like the head of the Ecclesiarchy, Decius, can just, come into this meeting room, very fast. I thought like he would have to travel from his Ecclesiarchy headquarters all the way to the building that houses the High Lords of Terror and talk to them there. But it seems like they're all under one roof. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not too sure about doing stuff that the Emperor told us not to do. I mean, this is the first actual order we've gotten in, ever. Maybe we should actually abide by it for once.
I barely remember what you do when you follow an order. This is so exciting.
But they are going into the Emperor's throne room. Don't you understand, you fools?
Hold on a moment. Just had an idea. What if we threw this boot at Decius's head?
What?
Wait, that...
Oh, yeah.
That's the most splendid idea I've ever heard.
To shoot the boot, make the topical move.
What are you despicable old sacks talking about?
There! Now he doesn't have to stress out over stupid shit anymore. Look at him, sleeping there like a billy goat with a hat on.
Now, stop breathing, kids. It's getting really hot and full of carbon dioxide in here. We have made it. We made it.
Then go in and talk to him.
Now, soldiers, behind these doors await the most hefty and Herculean enemies that we shall ever face. You must all prepare yourselves for the most grueling, frightful, but glorious battle to ever take.
Come on, Fyodor, you already held like 2 speeches about preparing ourselves, and both of the times nothing actually happened.
Be quiet, Dominique! But fine, we'll just open the door, you whining bunch of... the fuck do you want?
I knew it. Demon! Karamazov, though. Yes, this guy. He is such an idiot, but he's so funny. Okay, guys. Yes, that's it with If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device, episode 17, Emperor's Excellent Autobiography. By Bruva Alpha Busa. Yeah, the Emperor was, telling us more information about the history and of humanity and the Eldar, what happened to them, after the creation and the birth of Slanesh, and they separating themselves into those who still believe that they have a future in the galaxy, they have a future in recreating their empire. And then there are those who have, conceded to this reality that this is their lives now, this is what they have to be, this is what they have to do to survive, become these people who do sadistic things, Dark Eldar doing sadistic things and living off that energy, from creating pain and suffering and torture on others. So yeah, and also what happened during the Age of Strife, what happened to Earth, what happened to the rest of the galaxy in terms of the human confederacy, all the planets. Many of them did not make it, many of them did make it, some of them had psychers, and how civilizations dealt with that situation was also very important. And now, after that, history lesson, we turn our attention to the Lord Inquisitor Karamazov. Oh, his surname is such a tongue twister. Yes, him. Him organizing his Inquisition with the Grey Knights, like really Grey Knights with him. But anyways, maybe because he is like the Lord Inquisitor, so yeah, they are able to, garner the support of the Grey Knights. But yes, the Grey Knights are with him. Other Inquisition members are with him. I think it was the Ibites, the police of the Imperium of Man, or maybe it was the Imperial Guard that were also with him. I'm not sure. But definitely Karamazov has an army. He's been, trying to invade Terra. They've just been allowing him inside. So clearly the Emperor is executing his plans. He's allowing the Lord Inquisitor with his posse to come right straight to the Imperial Palace. Probably they're going to talk. But yeah, I like it when the Lord Inquisitor came inside the throne room and he saw Magnus there. And he's like, I knew it. Demon! Oh gosh. But he won't, he's not wrong, because last time anyone saw Magnus, all we knew about him is that he was corrupted by chaos. So yeah, that's all that we remember about him, being corrupted by chaos and being a demon. So I won't fault him for that. I won't fault him for saying or shouting out that Magnus is a demon. But we'll just have to wait and see until next week, Thursday, to see how the Emperor explains to the Lord Inquisitor, saying, that I'm not under the control of chaos, I'm not under the control of demons. My son has returned to me. I've retrieved his soul from Zinch, and he is now part of my family again. Will he accept it? I don't think so. The Lord Inquisitor is really thick-headed, really stubborn. I just don't see him accepting anything. He is just going to continue to question, continue to doubt that even the Emperor right in front of him doesn't exist, like he's some sort of puppet. He'll say something to justify his actions, no matter the cost. He will say something just to justify it, definitely. But yeah, guys, I guess we'll have to wait until next week, Thursday. Remember, if you want to check out the original video as well as Bruva Alpha Booster's YouTube channel, the links are in the description below. If you want to like my video, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos. And I will see you next week, Thursday. Okay?